Ever wondered how project managers keep track of complex tasks with multiple dependencies? The secret lies in understanding multiple predecessor logic. Let's take a step back for a moment. Imagine you're juggling a multitude of tasks, each one interconnected in some way. It's like a web of activities, where some tasks can't start until others finish. This is where the concept of multiple predecessor logic comes into play. In the realm of project management, multiple predecessor logic is when an activity in a project has more than one predecessor activity. In simpler terms, it means that several tasks must be completed before another one can begin. It's like baking a cake. You can't just toss all the ingredients into a bowl and expect a masterpiece. Certain steps must be followed in a specific sequence to achieve the desired result. Now, let's dive deeper into the concept by exploring a detailed example. Imagine a construction project. It's not just about building walls and ceilings. There are many tasks that need to happen in a specific order. This is where the concept of multiple predecessor logic comes into play. Let's break down a construction sequence into tasks, each with their dependencies. First, we have the planning phase. This is where the blueprint is designed and approved. This phase serves as the predecessor to all other tasks because, without a plan, there's no roadmap to follow. Next, we have the site preparation. This includes clearing the land, leveling the ground, and setting up temporary facilities for workers. The site preparation must be completed before any construction can begin. Thus, the planning phase is a predecessor to the site preparation. Now let's move on to the actual construction. We'll focus on a specific example. Building and painting a wall. There are several tasks involved here, each dependent on the other. First, the wall needs to be built. This involves erecting the wall frame, installing insulation, and covering it with drywall. Only after these steps are completed can we move on to the next phase, plastering. The plastering phase involves applying a layer of plaster to the wall. This cannot be done until the wall is built, making the building phase a predecessor to the plastering phase. Once the plaster is applied, it needs time to dry. The drying time is dependent on environmental factors such as temperature and humidity. The plastering phase, therefore, becomes the predecessor to the drying phase. After the plaster is dry, we can finally move on to painting. The paint can't be applied until the plaster is completely dry, making the drying phase a predecessor to the painting phase. So, in this construction sequence, we see that the painting phase has multiple predecessors: building, plastering, and drying. Each of these phases must be completed before the painting can begin, and each of these phases has its own set of predecessor tasks. This is a clear example of multiple predecessor logic. It highlights the fact that many tasks in a project are interdependent. They must occur in a specific sequence, and often, a single task can't begin until multiple other tasks have been completed. This is why understanding multiple predecessor logic is crucial in project management. It helps us to map out the sequence of tasks, identify dependencies, and plan the project timeline accurately. So you see, understanding multiple predecessor logic is key to successful project management in complex scenarios like this. Now, you might be wondering, why is it so important to understand and apply multiple predecessor logic? Let's dive right into it. Multiple predecessor logic can be a game changer in project management. It brings a level of organization to tasks that single predecessor logic simply can't match. Imagine you're directing a symphony, and each instrument represents a task in your project. Now, what if all the instruments started playing at the same time without any coordination? It would be chaos, right? The beauty of multiple predecessor logic is like the conductor's baton, guiding each instrument to start and stop at the right time, creating a harmonious melody instead of a cacophony. Moreover, it's all about efficiency. When you have a clear view of task dependencies, you can better allocate your resources, ensuring that no team or asset is overstretched or sitting idle. It's like a well-oiled machine where every gear works in perfect harmony with the others, maximizing productivity and minimizing waste. But perhaps the most significant advantage of multiple predecessor logic is its ability to predict potential delays and bottlenecks. It's like having a crystal ball that lets you foresee problems before they arise. By understanding how tasks are interlinked, you can anticipate where delays might occur and take preemptive action. It's akin to seeing the dominoes lined up and knowing exactly which one, when tipped, will cause a delay in the sequence. Furthermore, it allows for flexibility. If a task is dependent on several others, it's easier to adjust the schedule if one of the predecessors is delayed. It's like having multiple routes to your destination. If one road is blocked, you can take another without losing too much time. In short, multiple predecessor logic is a powerful tool for any project manager. It's a way to bring order to chaos, efficiency to resources, foresight to planning, and flexibility to execution. It's not just about doing things right, it's about doing the right things at the right time. So let's summarize what we've learned about multiple predecessor logic. At its core, multiple predecessor logic is a concept that comes into play when an activity within a project has more than one preceding activity. It's like a crossroad in your project where several paths converge into one. These paths are your predecessor activities, and the crossroad is the activity which depends on all of them. Think of it as a relay race, where each runner needs to finish their part before the next one can start. But in this case, imagine a team where several runners must all complete their parts before the final runner can begin. That's multiple predecessor logic in action. And why is this concept so important? Well, it's vital for managing complex tasks within a project. In our world of ever-increasing complexity, it's not uncommon for projects to have multiple layers of tasks, each dependent on several others. And in these instances, understanding and applying multiple predecessor logic can be the difference between a project running smoothly and one that's fraught with delays and confusion. Further, multiple predecessor logic offers significant benefits in terms of organization and efficiency. It provides a clear roadmap of task dependencies, allowing project managers to effectively plan and allocate resources. By knowing which tasks need to be completed before others can begin, project managers can avoid bottlenecks and ensure the project stays on track. And it doesn't stop there. Multiple predecessor logic also enhances risk management. It helps identify critical paths in the project and anticipate potential delays. By understanding the interdependencies between tasks, project managers can better predict and mitigate risks, ensuring the project's successful completion. So there you have it, the ins and outs of multiple predecessor logic in project management. Remember, it's all about understanding the dependencies between tasks and planning accordingly. As we wrap up, it's clear that mastering multiple predecessor logic is a game changer in project management. It is a tool that can significantly enhance the efficiency and effectiveness of your projects, whether they are in the realm of construction, software development, event planning, or any other field where tasks are interconnected and dependent on one another. Imagine the power of being able to accurately predict and plan for the sequence of tasks in your project. You could foresee potential roadblocks, optimize resource allocation, and ensure a smoother execution of your project. This is the power of multiple predecessor logic. It allows you to see the bigger picture and to understand how each task fits into that picture. Applying this concept to your own projects may seem daunting at first. It requires careful thought and planning, as well as a deep understanding of your project's tasks and their interdependencies. But don't be discouraged. Like any new skill, it takes practice and patience to master. Start small, with a single project or a subset of tasks. Experiment with different scenarios, and learn from your successes and failures. Over time, you'll gain confidence and expertise, and you'll be able to apply multiple predecessor logic to larger and more complex projects. Of course, there will be challenges along the way. You might encounter tasks that have many predecessors, or tasks that are dependent on each other in complex ways, but remember, these challenges are opportunities for learning and growth. They will help you refine your understanding of multiple predecessor logic, and they will make you a stronger, more effective project manager. So embrace multiple predecessor logic. See it as a tool to enhance your project management skills and to bring more value to your projects and your organization. The benefits are clear: increased efficiency, improved predictability, and a greater sense of control over your projects. Thanks for watching. Remember, the key to successful project management is understanding your tasks and their dependencies. Until next time, stay organized and keep managing those projects efficiently.